What's going on, everybody? Let's get back to where we need to with this. Okay, now we're good. So, man, so much stuff to unpack. There's so much things. Okay, so where you hiding? Probably no longer here, but sweat dripping from that man's face about Cowboys expectations. What sweat, bro? No one was sweating yesterday. Man, I don't know what it is, but I've been feeling like crap the past few days. But all right, so there are a lot of things that have been said already here today, and I should actually email these two pictures to myself so I can bring them up on here, and that's what I'm going to do so that way we can have a visual, because there's some things that I want to talk about. What's up, Miss Bird Gang? What's up, where you hiding? AK podcast. How's everyone doing tonight? I appreciate y'all stopping in. We about to look some stuff up because there's some blasphemy that I heard today. Oh no, that I heard a little while ago that I'm actually going to do a video on. Here in the next coming days, so that way. How's everyone doing tonight? Appreciate y'all stopping by for a little bit. But yeah, no, there is I just need to download the stream and put it up, make a video about it, because there's some things that I've heard that I just find completely funny. That we're going to, yes, Miss Bergang is correct. Hit the like, share, subscribe button for me, please. We are actually at 1,010 subs. It is amazing that this thing has taken off the way it did. All the hard work I've been putting in. Thanks to Miss Birdgang and her husband, Birdgang31, for allowing me to come and do this almost day in and day out, week after week. And with my shows, with my show, with my co-host, Cowboys Corner. We got the Boys Corner every Thursday at 8:00, and then my favorite, my featured show, Trolling with Boys for Life. So let's see if we got this up, because what's up? Yes, that's right. We got the 9th pick, motherfucker. So what's up, East Coast Gridiron? So I heard some stuff today, a little while ago, that it made me laugh. And it's just coming, and I get it. It's coming from Eagle fans, so I just got to take this with a grain of salt, right? And I want to bring this up, these pictures. I'm just waiting for them to get here. I think I got to click this one and wait for it to get here. There they are. Because what they are is what I heard from what was said. Smith and Save TD. What I heard was, okay, they're here. We're bringing them up. That's not what I want to do. We're bringing them up. So what I heard was that us Cowboy fans need to stop acting like CeeDee Lamb is the number one receiver. Mind you, when we drafted him 2 years ago, Eagle fans were up in arms because they wanted CeeDee Lamb bad. It was crazy. There was things all about it. Everything was going on. And they're talking about how CeeDee Lamb isn't a true number one wide receiver. Talking about how what number one wide receiver goes, true number one wide receiver goes 8 games without a touchdown. Now, granted, he missed one of those games. So, yeah, 8 games if you want to get technical. But actually, it was 7 games, and it was all predicated basically around the scheme, right? And, for him to be kind of non-existent. That's what I find a lot of with Kellen Moore's scheming. It's too smart for his own good. But let's bring up some. You know what? I need to do. Nope. We need. Let's get out of this. Let's edit this one. We have too many banners up. Give me 1 second, guys. Make sure you copy this so that way it stays, because this is what I want to create. Nope, see, that's not. I want to edit this shit. And I don't know how. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay. So, Samus was right about you. Delusional. I'm delusional? Samus was right about what? I'm delusional. Explain that to me. I'm delusional about what? That's what I want to know. What I'm delusional about. And when I'm sure he said it. I'm sure he does, because he likes to talk shit about me for whatever reason. So I just want to know. Explain to me what I'm delusional about. That's what I want to know. Is it because I did a 12-5 record pre-prediction, like early prediction video? I mean, that's fine with me. It does no bother to me. I had him on the show with Cowboys Corner, and that's it. Here we go. People saying things. No, exactly. I mean, but this is supposed to be my dude, Eagle Speed, right? This is supposed to be my guy, but yet he's gonna come on here and start talking mess. Unless this isn't actually Eagle Speed. This is a troll account. Could be. We don't know. But anyway, what I want to get to is, let me bring up the overlay stuff. Here we go. Let me bring up Lambs, because we're going to get into this a little bit, because I find it a little funny what was being said. So, what was said earlier was that CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys need to stop acting like CeeDee Lamb is not a number one wide receiver, right? Or stop acting like he's a number one wide receiver. That's what was said. And I just find that a little funny because, like I said, not long ago, Eagle fans wanted him. But let's look at Smith, because what was said was a true number one wide receiver doesn't go 8 games, right, without getting a touchdown, right? But like I said, CeeDee Lamb only had 7 games, and I get it, 7, 8, tomatoes. I mean, it's a lot of games, right? But it's all predicated around the scheme and who they're getting the ball to. I got a dope idea for your logo. Bro, send me whatever you got. Send me the logo, whatever you got. If you need compensation, I got you. Let me know. Lamb is good, but Coop was number what? Number 1 is what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but CeeDee Lamb didn't have to step up to be that number 1 because of Amari Cooper. Yet CeeDee Lamb did put up 1,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken, his rookie season. I don't think it was this season. Let's actually bring the shit up, because this is it. Yeah, it wasn't this season. But you have seven games. This one right here where he didn't play, right? That would be game number 8 without a touchdown. And I understand. But also, a true number 1 wide receiver doesn't go 8 games, right? Or 7 games without a touchdown, right? So what do you call this? There are 7 games right here. 13 games in total with Devontae Smith not getting a single touchdown. Not a single touch. Look, Devontae Smith. It says it right there at the bottom of the overlay. Devontae Smith. 7 games, and this is supposed to be your number 1 wide receiver. Now, explain to me this, Bergam. Explain to me this, because I want to know. Is that because of Smith, or is that because of your quarterback who cannot throw? Exactly. 2,000 yards in his first 2 seasons, and he wasn't a number 1. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, East Coast. That's what I don't get about. And I get it. It's Eagles, Cowboys. I understand it, where they're coming from. They're just talking mess. But the numbers don't lie. 2,000 yards, right, in his first 2 seasons. and the Eagle fans want to talk about A.J. Brown makes the Eagles have the number one wide receiving core in the NFL. You have a rookie who didn't touch 1,000 yards. Why is that? Is that because of the scheme? Is that because of Smith? Is that because of Hurts? Whose fault is that? You're not going to lay blame anywhere. There's a bunch of excuses that are going to be made when it comes to this. But like East Coast Gridiron said, CeeDee Lamb in 2 seasons with 2,000 yards. Remember Ridley before Jones left and after. I understand that. We get that. But okay, so how do I say this? You can't say Cooper was the guy, but then sit there and say CeeDee Lamb was number one. No, Amari Cooper was number one, right? That's what y'all are saying. Amari Cooper's number one, but then, right, and CeeDee Lamb has success off of that. But then sit there and say Amari Cooper disappeared in a lot of games. So which is it? Because if he disappears in a lot of games, then you're going to have CeeDee Lamb doing what he does, right? Excelling, getting the yards, getting the numbers, and I get it. 7 games without a touchdown. But your true number one wide receiver in CeeDee is a generational. And this is coming from a Jags fan. CeeDee Lamb is a generational talent. This is coming from a Jags fan. I don't know what people don't see. He probably the best hands in the NFL. He's an ex-OBJ. Now, that'd be awesome if he was. But CeeDee Lamb did have a little bit of the dropsies last year. He had like 6 or 7 dropsies last year, which he's going to have to improve on. So I don't want to anoint all this yet. And I heard you say it on the stream last night when we were there talking, but I'm not anointing that yet. A.J. Brown has just had double knee replacement surgery. He's injury prone. Well, last year was his first year actually getting hurt that I recall. So A.J. Brown has 3,000 yards in 3 seasons, 3,000 yards. Yes, with a much better quarterback, right? And him being basically the number one target. Now, you have Devontae Smith, right? Basically your number one. And then you have Jalen Hurts, who's going to be running the ball a lot because that's what he does. Let's not forget that Jalen Hurts had 16 passing touchdowns last year. Passing touchdowns. And you're going to sit there and say it's because of penalties and drop passes that he didn't have more. I guarantee you, let's just say none of those pass interference happen. The drops don't happen. None of that stuff happens, right? Let's just say I would venture to say he has maybe 4 more touchdowns. 4 more touchdowns. And that is it. Eagle fans doing more live streams about the Cowboys than they own. Exactly. They do that. They do. I mean, I go over to live streams and it's about the Cowboys. I mean, this right here made me laugh.
Only between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys when you're talking about best roster in the NFC East. But after the draft, post-draft, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best roster in the NFC East.
I mean, that right there made me laugh. It was hysterical because you have just because they traded for A.J. Brown, drafted Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round, who should have gone in the 1st from what everyone's saying, and then drafted a guy who we already know, right? We already know who's going to be in a rotational set with Fletcher Cox and Hargrave and not getting the full reps that he needs. I mean, let's face it, at Georgia, like East Coast Gridiron said, he only had 38% of his snaps. That is it. 38% of those snaps were Jordan Davis's over there at Georgia. That's it. And you think that he's going to come in and be some all-star, this great power? I guarantee you Nakobe Dean or Jordan Davis don't make a Pro Bowl, don't even get nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year or even Rookie of the Year. None of those guys do. I guarantee, and I've been saying this since he got drafted, when we found out he had a strained pectoral muscle. He's going to get hurt. And I've been hearing it from East Coast Gridiron. He's going to get hurt. It's going to happen. He has a strain in his shoulder. He's going to go on play and be physical. And let's not pretend like Philly doesn't have a history with injuries. Well, let's be real about it. So when that time comes, when he does get hurt, I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be excited. Not because he got hurt, but because all you Eagle fans out there, all y'all did was talk about this guy and how he makes your team so much better when he doesn't. I've said it a million times. Nakobe Dean is going to be average at best. He may be a good player, but to say this other outlandish things, and we're going to bring this up too because I want to see this. I want y'all to hear this because I found it extremely funny last night. Yesterday when I posted it. So we're going to come here, share screen, tab, we're about to share it. Okay. This right here. This is hilarious, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear this because I need to know. This right here. This is hilarious, guys. Let me know.
Nakobe Dean will have a better NFL career than Micah Parsons. There it go right there. Let's talk. If we're going to talk, let's talk. Nakobe Dean will have a better NFL career than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a one-trick pony. If Micah Parsons can't blitz, he damn sure can't cover. If Micah Parsons do not get to the quarterback, he is useless. He is useless. Nakobe Dean will have a better NFL career than Micah Parsons.
That right there. And I'm not like, here's the thing. The Eagle fans have a good, a decent draft, right? That's what happens. And then this is the kind of stuff that they start talking about. It's ridiculous. Hold on. I'm missing something here. Oh, I'm over here like, what is going on? Why is this? I keep hearing stuff. Okay. We are not in that anymore. Okay. We're out of there. Okay. So, where are we at? Calvin Ridley came in on a regressed Julio Jones, and a Mark Cooper is still in his prime. Those are two different scenarios. Exactly. Situations. Exactly. What's up, Boston Sports? How you doing? Cap, not much better. What's not much better? I forgot what I said. They're talking shit about Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. Probably was, because they're probably not going to make this team that much better. I guarantee you these two guys and A.J. Brown are not going to flip y'all to a 11-12 win team. It's not going to happen. KPG, he played 2020 with 2 torn knees and put up 1,000 yards season. He made Pro Bowl. I don't think the injuries are an issue. He's a monster. See, and this is what I like. I like that East Coast Gridiron is very unbiased. I love it. We need to see Lamb play at the number 1 spot. Look, Cowboys, since 1972, like East Coast Gridiron said, 2 seasons at the slot position, right? Not at a true number 1. Put up 2,000 yards, right? Put up 2,000 yards. 6+ more touchdowns. That's facts. How is that facts? We have no idea if that can even happen. Because let's face it, you talk about Jalen Hurts putting up 3,100 yards in a passing league. The Texans quarterback put up like 600 yards less, and he only played like 5-6 games. And Jalen Hurts played a whole season. 31. And let's not forget that Brunson put this out there, that Jalen Hurts QBR is only better than like 3 guys. 3 guys. 80% of the quarterbacks in this league have a better QBR than Jalen Hurts. That is straight up true. AJ and Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, who is physically better than Dak. Zeke is on a downstream since CD was there. What they hurt Dak. That's not Gum Company, my man. I'm sorry. Well, I think that it had everything to do with the offensive line, in my opinion. It had everything to do with the offensive line of Zeke not being who Zeke was. And Zeke has been hurt. But let's not pretend like the first 6 seasons, Zeke isn't averaging like almost 5 yards a carry. Let's not pretend like Zeke has already had 7,300 yards, right? I mean, he's putting up numbers, people. He is. He is. I mean, I saw a thing where he was compared to Edgerrin James. Edgerrin James in his first 6 years only had like 400 more yards than him. And I think he had 0.3 less yards per carry. It was 4.5 for Ezekiel Elliott and like 4.2 for Edgerrin James. So let's not act like Zeke isn't still putting up these giant numbers. I think Zeke in his first 6 seasons has 56 touchdowns. So anyway, my bad. Gotcha. But anyway, I'm just explaining to everyone else. So what's going on here? AJ had let's reread this comment. AJ had Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, who is statistically better than Dak. Dak is on a downstream since I get behind in these things. So excuse moi for if I forget. Because they was stacked with talent in GA and played every meaningful snap. I mean, Georgia was blowing teams out, weren't they? They were just blowing teams out, weren't they? I mean, what is a meaningful snap? What? I don't get it. They did pick up Reddick. I think it's close. Yeah, that's right. They did also pick up Reddick. But Reddick is more of an edge, if I'm not mistaken. And the Eagles don't blitz too much. The Eagles do not blitz that much. I'll tell you that right now. And Hassan Reddick I won't say specialty, but Hassan Reddick does get, he's had double-digit sacks, right? But in his career, and I don't see that happening with the Eagles because they don't blitz a lot. What's up, Bless? What's up, Fly Eagles Fly Peace 85? Haven't heard from you in a while. What's up, Bless? How's everyone doing tonight? I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Derek Barnett will cost us more penalties this year. I'm calling it. Yeah, you go right ahead. Yes, sir. When someone says you need to get surgery and you don't, that's stupid to me. Exactly. It is dumb. I mean, I've had surgery on my shoulder. I've had surgery on my elbow. Just had surgery on my Achilles. And then a couple months later, had surgery on my gallbladder. Had to get that removed. My body is falling the fuck apart. Dean, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not even close. Dean will not even get Defensive Rookie of the Year. I promise you that. That's why he fell. Best linebacker in college. You know what? Next week when I do this, or even Saturday when I do this, I'm going to have to look up Nakobe Dean's stats, right? Because we all know that he was in a rotational set there at Georgia. He was. He didn't play a lot of snaps at all because he was in a rotational set, which is why when you compare this, and I'll bring it up. Where's it at? When you compare this right here, it's skewed because of Nakobe Dean and Damone Clark. Damone Clark played pretty much every down. Nakobe Dean didn't. That's why this is like this. So now what you're going to tell me is that Nakobe Dean with the hurt pectoral muscle, right? Hurt pectoral muscle, played in college, right? Against guys who aren't going to be as physical in the NFL. I forgot where I was going with this. My dumbass forgot where I was going with this. Isn't going to get hurt, I guess you could just say, because my dumbass forgot where I was going with this. I really did. I had a point, and that's what happens when you get old. You just you got so much shit going on right here. You just forget shit that what you were talking about. And but yeah, no, Nakobe Dean will not touch Defensive Rookie of the Year. And what I was saying is that you're telling me that Nakobe Dean is going to be able to withstand all the snaps he's going to play in the NFL, 16-game season, when he didn't even play half the snaps at Georgia every game. He was fresh all the time. You don't know what this dude's going to be like when he's fatigued, when he's tired. I mean, y'all over here putting out, Eagle fans over here putting out videos, right? Videos of Treylon Burks huffing and puffing. I can't wait to see Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis doing the same effing shit, because I will record that shit and I will post that shit and I will laugh, because every time the Cowboys kick the Eagles' ass, this is what I'm going to play.
As always, Dallas is trash. We're going to mollywop Dallas this year. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly.
And I'm going to play that because I'm going to remind y'all of how bad your team actually is going to be this year. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Best linebacker in college. What's up? What up, South Tex? Left my ass off. I cannot, man. I can't, man. Hey, bro. Like I said, these are Eagle fans for you, bro. These are Eagle fans for you. Like, you need to come on to my show or someone else's show and start spitting facts about this stuff, because, like, I'll tell you right now, I'm one of the realest Cowboy fans there are out there. I don't sell this rah stuff, but when I see bullshit and my guys are being put on blast, I go and defend my shit. So, you got to come on, or you gotta be like an impartial judge to Cowboys Eagle talk and let people know, because you're a smart guy when it comes to football. You know this stuff. Like the video that we saw today with you know who. Like, after you challenged him the other day, he looked yesterday, he looked incredibly nervous. Incredibly nervous. Making his video today. Looking like he didn't want to say some shit that was wrong, because then he knows that he would get put on blast. Not just necessarily by you, but people that watch his stuff, that find his stuff entertaining in a sense that it's laughable, and then send it to you, and then you just put that shit on blast, which you already did. You did that today, and I found it extremely funny. Anything to get that guy, just it's funny. I think it's going to come down between Dallas and Philly. Well, I did get a early prediction of standings, and the Cowboys actually were in third, with the Eagles being in last. Cowboys were like 9-8, and the Eagles were like 6-11. I had a friend send that to me, and I just found it funny, because the Eagles, I said, are going to be an 8-win team. That's what they're going to be. Cowboys are going to win about between 10 and 12 games this year. That's just me. That's crazy. Parsons proved his worth. I know he did. It was crazy. I was in the chat. Yeah, that's crazy. I know it's crazy talk. And the funny thing is, bro, is that my guy, East Coast Gridiron, was talking to him via Twitter. and he said that East Coast took that out of context. No, he didn't. I watched the thing and I clipped what I needed to clip from start when it started to when it ended, and I posted it because that was not out of context whatsoever. Win, lose, yep, that's y'all. Dean will be another TJ Edwards. Book it. That'd be funny. What about White, Pascal, and Reddick? Pascal, that's your wide. What is it? Your third option wide receiver? I don't know who the fuck White is. And then Reddick, someone outside? Is my dog? One of my dogs, I think, is outside. I'll be right back. Never mind. I don't have a dog outside. That was the reef at my front door making that noise. We look at QBR, then Wentz is the best in the division. QBR is an overrated set. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not. All I was saying is that Jalen Hurts, and this was an Eagle fan who put this out. It was an Eagles fan who put that out. But we was the number one rushing offense, which was because of Hurts. Top 6. I understand that's why you were a rushing offense, top rushing offense, number one. And that goes to my point, is he can't throw the football. Do y'all not remember the first 7 games when you went like or the first 6 games when you went like 1-5? Jalen Hurts got a lot of his stat. Like, take the Cowboys game, for instance. I think Jalen Hurts maybe had 120 yards passing in the third quarter going into the fourth. And when the Cowboys let up in that game in Dallas last year, he threw for like over 160 yards in one quarter. 2 touchdowns. When we were up by like 30 already. And a lot of that happens with Jalen Hurts. Take a look at instance for the Giants game. He looked awful in the Giants game. Look at Tampa Bay's game. He looked bad in Tampa Bay's game. So let's be real here. Hurts can run. I'm not disagreeing with that, but they're gonna figure him out. And then when it's time to pass, he can't do it. Not on a consistent basis. That front 7 at Georgia was about chemistry, to be honest. All these players are not all going to be great. We've seen it time and time again in college. Great defensive teams never end up being great in the NFL. True. Parsons more of a pass rusher than an LB. That's why Dean can be a better LB, because Parsons more of a Reddick type LB pass rusher. Okay, that is something completely different than what Brunson put up. Completely different. That is a arguable, more sensible statement than what Brunson put up. You said something completely different than what that guy said. It's funny how Eagle fans brag about their weapons, but their man Hurts can't throw the ball, and Gannon is their DC trash. No, I know. Devin Lloyd was the best LB in college. There's no comparison. Even Christian Harris was better. He won the award, my guy. That's facts. I mean, I saw people that East Coast Gridiron, just because you win an award doesn't mean you're the best. You're the best, to be honest with you. That can be skewed so many ways. And let's not forget, like, just because you win an award in college doesn't mean it's going to translate into the NFL. It doesn't mean anything. There were some names that East Coast Gridiron was saying today when he looked this up, and I didn't know some of these dudes. I didn't know some of these dudes. I mean, you had Manti Te'o, who had a serviceable career, right? You had CJ Mosley, which apparently is the floor of Nakobe Dean, and C.J. Mosley was a hell of a player for a while. I mean, so that's just that kind of stuff makes me laugh. Just got back from family vacation. That's cool, bro. Here at Northeaster on vacation, but we still had fun. Didn't want to come back. I bet. He looked good in rookie minicamp. See, that's another thing with y'all. That's another thing with Eagle fans is y'all pump up minicamp and these OTAs and these drills like 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 no one's business. It's ridiculous. That's why, like for me, for instance, when you see a player like balling out in scrimmages in camp, and it's good in camp to say he has a good shot of making the team, or this is what I project him, or not even project him, but just talking about him, catching the eyes of the coaches and things of that nature. But what Eagle fans like to do is take it a step further and sit there and say, this guy's based off what he did in minicamp, he's going to be a Pro Bowler. He's going to be he's going to lead the lead and whatever. And we see it time and look what happened last year. Jalen Reagor was making one-handed catches, look at all kinds of badass, right? And then it comes time to actually play the actual game live. He was awful, trash. Old, you look mid-20s. Oh, no, I may look mid-20s, but I've been around for 3 Cowboy Super Bowls. I mean, I remember one of them. But I've been around for 3. That's how old I am. You need to send me the link to the live. Oh, if you're still on, I'll send you the link here, just so we can have some chat. Let me. I only got so much more time. I'm sending it right now, so you can just come on, hang out, talk. The link has been sent, brother. Philly. Okay, I sent you that. Who sent what? I don't. Oh yes, I know, Mitch. You sent me the thing. I just wasn't trying to say names. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to put anyone's business out there. I don't want people knowing who has whose number. That's why I said a guy I know. This guy's just said Eagles gonna win 8 games. Yes, I did. What's up, CG Bully? I still can't believe Russ went to the Broncos. I know, that's crazy. Got done with the NFC East network. That's cool, bro. But we all talk crap back and forth. You know how it goes. Yeah, I know how it goes. I know exactly how it goes. We can't deny we haven't won back-to-back divisions. Dallas fans will say winning the division, and next breast say fire Mike McCarthy. That doesn't make any sense. Next breath. 400 plus against KC. KC had a shitty defense at that time, and let's not kid here. Y'all were giving up yardage as well. Both defenses were trash. That was like a high school football game, dude. And the first game, yeah, I get it. The first game, Atlanta was doo-doo, bro. Doo-doo. I wouldn't. And I said it. I said it the very next day that Hurts didn't look like the guy because of XYZ. And guess what? Throughout the season, XYZ happened. And guys were jumping ship. Cowboys fans forgot Dak couldn't make all the throws too early in his career. We didn't forget it. I still say that Dak can make certain throws. I still sit there and say Dak isn't the guy for me, that I need a better quarterback. That's it. I've been saying that. I've never said anything different. What's up, boy? How's it going? East Coast? How's it going?
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. How you doing? You having a good night? I'm having a fun time with this stream. This stuff.
Yeah, I see. Some of the I ain't gonna call it nonsense, but
No,
I'm
but like I
like
was saying,
literally
this
shaking my head.
is this is Cowboys Eagles talk right here, back and forth.
And for
And
everybody that doesn't know, I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Jags fan, so I'm truly neutral.
and that's why I like about you is that you'll call bullshit on both sides.
I'll call bullshit on my own team. I
yeah,
will say we're ass before you say they're ass. Straight up.
yeah, and I'll say that not every win is created equal, and just because we went 12-5 doesn't mean we're gonna go win a Super Bowl or get to a certain place in the playoffs.
That's facts.
Yeah, but nah, man, how's your night going?
So I did that stream. I do the NCAA 14 stuff on there, but then you sent me that video,
Yeah,
and I had to break it down like play by play everything that he was saying. I was like, man, this is one thing that I kind of glad that I came into the community when I did, because
uh-huh.
I feel like some people hate me and some people love me. But either way it goes, I don't really care. To be honest, because the
Yeah,
only thing that I have an issue with is people that constantly say things and fabricate them and say them
yeah,
like they're truth. It's okay to have an opinion, but you can't bag on me when some of my opinions have context and then it makes you look bad. you know? But
yeah.
and then there's other things that it's like there's factual things too. I'll tell you the one of the perfect things last night. I was on AK Eagles podcast and we had a great discussion about Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
And we were going back and forth, and I asked the question about who. So I'll ask you just from what you know, and this is totally has nothing to do with either one of our teams, but we were talking about Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. Are all of those guys Hall of Famers to you?
I know it's kind of tough. I mean, I wouldn't say Eli is a Hall of Famer,
I agree with you.
but
So
I would say, I mean, he did win his 2 Super Bowls, but like I said, not him. But I would put Big Ben up there, and I would put um, Philip Rivers up
now
there.
let me tell you something. Okay. Now, if you had the choice to put one of these guys in the Hall of Fame, give me who it is and your reason why. I'm not gonna say that you're wrong because we're already in agreement here that Philip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger are Hall of Famers. But
Yeah.
if it came down to those are the two guys on the ballot for you, and you can only put one of them in, who are you putting in?
Let me ask you this: does it do the outcomes of what they did as far as like Super Bowls? Like, does that have any weight? Like,
Take Super Bowls away.
okay, that's what I want to know. And I'm going Philip Rivers. I'm going Rivers.
Okay, so you're actually in the minority then, because what I had asked last night to AK was of course he has Ben Roethlisberger on there, and of course I agree with him. Like there was a team, Philip Rivers had a team that should have done very very well with all the weapons that he has, from the Antonio Gates to LaDainian Thompson to Vincent Jackson and all those guys, right? And
Yeah.
and a pretty good defense. He said that he would still put Ben Roethlisberger in there. This is my argument to that. Philip Rivers had better stats and less games played than Ben Roethlisberger had in his career. So,
Repeat that again. Ben Roethlisberger, what?
so Philip Rivers had better
Yeah.
stats in his career than Ben Roethlisberger had, and he played less games. Does that change the narrative for you? Without the Super Bowls, it's like it's insane to think about that, but like
Yeah.
some people don't. I'm not gonna say that like people don't know that, but some people just don't like lay it out like that. And I don't count Super Bowls as highly as some people. But
Yeah.
that's one of those things. It's like, hey, let's have a discussion. I want to see your side of it. I'll bring my side of it in as well. And we had a really good discussion just about the Hall of Fame, and it was cool. And we chopped it up. But then you'll have some people on the other side now, and this is really what I'm getting to on my point with everything. Let's just say that there's a D writer for Ben Roethlisberger without any context of what happened with Philip Rivers' career. they would not be the ones to mention anything like that and break it down.
Yeah.
and then totally just uneducate everybody on why. It's like why is Philip Rivers not there? And it's like, oh, he should have did better. He should have won a Super Bowl. Oh, okay, buddy. I mean, if that's your only argument, then I guess this is just totally flawed. But what's up? What's up, Bird Gang?
What's up, guys? But to your point, Marino didn't win the Super Bowl either. He's in there. You know?
Exactly. Barry Sanders didn't win one.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and
A
on
lot
and
of people
on.
didn't win Super Bowls.
I just think it's a team accolade. Even like, you know, the question was asked last night, and I asked this question to you guys too. How much do MVPs really matter? Because year after year, we constantly say that Patrick Mahomes is the number one quarterback every single year. You know, regardless of who you are, you recognize that the talent is there, and you know what he's going to do. But he doesn't win the MVP every single year. So how much does it really matter by the end of their career? I think you should at least get one per every 10 years that you play. I think that's sufficient enough, and it should support your argument. But Super Bowls, I'm like, that's a team accolade all the way.
It's 100% team effort, you know, and that's why I don't like when people say like certain things about like, you know, like, oh, well, he won this many Super Bowls. It's like that team won that many Super Bowls. You know, it takes team effort. You look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, look at all the MVPs he got, but he only has one championship. You know, like that's saying something. You can have this top elite quarterback, the best quarterback in the league, and still not win a championship. Like championship is total team sport. You know.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Yo, so I sent you that picture. I sent you those rankings. I found that on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck? There's no way Eagles going whatever it was.
6 and 11.
Yeah, no way. I have us going 12-5 as of right now. Anything can change.
That's nice.
Anything can.
They're wild before, but I like to see. I think the Eagles do have a lot to be excited about. Like Eagles fans in general, you know, like we didn't have very much. We had, you know, first year coaches, you know, first year quarterback. You know, we were a gelling team trying to find our identity all last year. But the team wasn't that great, but we still put up spectacular. We still have spectacular plays. We still led the league, you know, in rushing, you know. So we had some pluses, you know, to add to our team. And plus, we still make the playoffs. You know, we did win 9 games. We went to the playoffs. There's, 16 other teams or, 16, 15 other teams that didn't go to the playoffs last year. But we did better than those guys. And the fact that we did have the offseason that we did have. You know, we got the Kaiser White. Kaiser White balled out in San Diego last year, you know what I'm saying? Nice young talent on the uprise of his career. Plus, he's coming back home. See, a lot of the players on our team is more than just the talent you got to look at. These guys are going back home. They've been playing away from home for a while now. You know what I'm saying? They haven't had their family and the support they want to have at all the games. And now they get to go back to their hometown, you know, where they went to school at, like the area they grew up in, and they have a lot more support. And I think that's going to make these guys play a lot better. You know, the Reddicks from the area, the Kaiser Whites from the area, you know, like these guys are going to, you know, play even better than they've been playing, I think, this year on the team. And then you look at the draft, you know, you get the Dean, you get the Davis. And Davis, to me, people really are underestimating him. I think he's going to be, and no one can even say how good he is. I know 30% he played, like I said, Georgia had a stack, you know, team over there. They had a nice heavy rotation. Plus, they were blowing teams out, like you said. So of course, you know, he wasn't playing when they were blowing out. But that's what I said in the comments. All the meaningful snaps, the meaningful games they played against like Alabama, top ranked teams, Jordan Davis was in on plays that needed to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
those clips of like triple teaming them. Alabama triple teamed the guy, and all he had to do was plant his right foot and turn. Like he's bigger than any other defensive tackle. And, you know, with that kind of size and athleticism to come out, you know, so it's like his upside is ridiculous. Like we can't even quantify. He could be the most dominant guy, you know, if he puts it all together and go out there and play some good football. You know, he has the speed too. He definitely has the size too, you know. And another thing with him, his mom's a huge Eagles fan, you know, mama's boy. That's gonna make him come work that much harder to be, you know, the best DT for this team this year.
I'm all about motivations, but I think my question is to everybody, and don't get it wrong. In me and Don's predictions on my show, we had Jordan Davis in our top 10 players based off of talent alone when we're ranking players, right? But it scares the hell out of me for you guys that if you evaluate Jordan Davis and only 38% of the time you were getting his best, what about the other 62% that you haven't seen? That's where I think there's the gray area right there, because we haven't seen a full out run and gun Jordan Davis 100% of the time, like the Aaron Donalds and everybody that's in there for at least 90% of the snaps. You know what I'm saying? So,
But they didn't. Aaron Donald didn't play for Georgia, one of the best defenses ever in college football history. Like we said before, they were blowing teams out, so he's not playing in those snaps. They had.
Why not?
Because why would you play your starter when you got blowing out Middle Tennessee State? You know what I'm saying? He can go game. He played when he needed to play, and then when they start getting pulled away, they put him out.
I get that, but I think it was just saturation with Georgia, and here's a perfect example why. Jermaine Johnson was literally a bulldog before last year. He came to Florida State and dominated because he said, "I wanted more of the snaps." You have to think in the back of your mind that had something to do with it. I'm not in that coach room, and neither has one of us. Like we don't know why he only got the 38% of the snaps. But you're expecting this guy to come in. He's going to play a similar role. I don't think he's going to be in there even 50% of the time. And people are like, "Oh, he's going to be dominant." But it's not going to happen because you have Fletcher Cox there. Unless Fletcher Cox goes down, he's going to be the perfect replacement for that. But it's a totally different skill set that he's playing. The offense the defense that they played at Georgia was a lot of pull Jordan Davis in, plug in on the line, stop the run. He was not a sexy defensive tackle. And people are just like, "Oh my God, he's going to be so great." And I think what people are also confusing is when they watch his combine, they confuse athleticism for great 40 times. And that annoys the hell out of me. I'm like, that just because you're fast, you're playing defensive tackle. How fast do you really have to be? I want to see, how good you were in the shuffle, which his was just mediocre.
But that fast at that size, that's what makes it. Like, no man, usually 360, 6'8", 6'7", is going to run a 4.840. That's the impressive part about it. That's why you can look at it like, wow, that's incredible. Like, how can you say it's not incredible? You look at
it's incredible.
He's not running a 4 or 4 anything.
But he's not really running that far. I mean, he's taking 2 steps and the offensive lineman is right there. So, I mean, that's my only argument for Jordan Davis.
But he even has plays. Did you watch like a lot of his highlights when you see them make it past the first, whenever they try to single block him or double team him, he splits it and run down the running back. Like, that's the part of the explosion that they're looking at. It's not that
he's in the right defense.
Still backwards, but just being able to get to that first line of the fish and still be able to be fast enough to catch a quarterback, be fast enough to catch a running back out of the backfield and still make the play. And we've seen him do that numerous of times too.
I don't want to take over your show, boys, but I just had to ask a question, right? You're on mute.
You're muted, but
oh yeah, my bad. No, y'all do your thing, man. I'm enjoying this back and forth because you can explain you can explain things better than more than what I can. So
hey, finally, I heard Boys for Life say he's not a genius.
I'm not a genius by any means. I'm just on my end. Like, I'm not a genius by any means. I've been a countless time on other people's show and been like, I don't know who the hell that player is. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. But the people that I do evaluate, I do know a lot about. I get in the wormholes with these things, man. I don't go to sleep till like 3 o'clock every night. Like, this is what I do. But let me ask you a question, Bergen, because you said in the chat, and I've seen you say multiple times that you think Nakobe Dean was the best linebacker in the draft. I absolutely don't see that, but I just want to see why your thoughts are with that. Because the dude did play for the best defense in the nation with a lot of chemistry versus Devin Lloyd, who, I mean, say what you want about Utah's defense. Nobody's saying Utah is the most dominant defense out there, and he was the best linebacker in the country.
So Devin Lloyd's the best to you?
Devin Lloyd is like when I rank quarterbacks from linebackers from last year, it's Devin Lloyd and it's everybody else.
I agree. Like, I really agree with that.
There's no comparison to me.
I don't know. What worries me with Lloyd, like, let me first start off and say all 3 of those guys were studs. Devin Lloyd's a stud. Christian Harris was a stud. And Nakobe Dean was a stud. In terms of those are my top three going into the draft. Like either one of those guys, we pick up either one of those guys, they're going to be way better than any of the linebackers we have on our roster right now. That was a huge part of the Eagles' defense that was, not doing so well was the linebacker core. You look at that defense, a lot of the flaws came from us having suspect linebackers, where quarterbacks were able to take us 2 steps and just hit a tight end or hit a slant or something like that because our linebackers sucked in coverage, our linebackers sucked in tackling. But to get back to your question, I think, like I said in the chat too, I like Christian Harris more than Nakobe Dean. Because Christian Harris was right there. He was bigger than Dean.
I agree with you.
He's a little bit shorter than Lloyd, but he played for a prominent school because I think all of it matters, your size, everything. Lloyd kind of scares me. He did have all them high numbers, but like you said, it's from Utah. You're the best player on the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like
nobody's talking about Utah defense.
No one's talking about you. You're not playing against any real big name schools, but like Dean, that's what Dean and Harris had over Lloyd to me. They played at the best schools, with the best defenses, with the best talent around them to still produce high numbers with other talent around you, was something to be said. And like I said, yes, you can say it's a college award, best linebacker, but 9 times out of 10, that best linebacker, whoever won the buckets for, comes in the league and plays some good football. 9 times out of 10, there's probably a couple of them that didn't come in and play good, but most likely, you look at some of the last Dick Buckus winners that got drafted, those are the best linebackers in that draft, and he's the best linebacker in college football. He's on number 1 defense. If you ask all those first-round talents they had and all those high draft picks they had, they all tell you that Dean was the guy. He put them where they need to be. He was that field general, and he was the leader of the defense. So when you got the other players telling you, too, it's like, and then you got the national media telling you he was the best linebacker by giving him an award. It's kind of hard to really go against that.
I mean, everybody saw Georgia games last year, though. Not enough Utah games.
Michigan.
So on the other side of that, right? So we talking about Nakobe Dean. This is another argument that drives me crazy. I'm not saying that you said it or anybody. I'm not calling out names. I'm just saying the general consensus of what I hear a ton is that, Nakobe Dean's going to be an amazing leader for the defense. I'm not drafting you to be a damn leader of any type of defense, a grown man that have been playing in this league for a very long time. I'm expecting you just to come in and play your part. I think that's a very flawed argument with some people, and I don't know what your guys' thoughts on it, but you're not drafting a leadership player in the draft. That's not what you're looking for. You go in free agency, or you start developing those guys, because a lot of your captains on your defense or your offense might not necessarily be starters. I mean, what's his name? Slater he's the kick returner for the Patriots. He's been like the number 1 team captain there for years. Nobody's talking about Matthew Slater. You know what I'm saying? So, Dean is the next Miles Jack. Stop it right there. That is absolutely false. They play completely different. But the other thing that concerns me, I want to get your thoughts on this one too. So, he fell to the 3rd round. Then you come and find out that he is supposed to get pectoral surgery. Like, something's not right there. And a lot of teams are like, no, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. That dude doesn't want to get surgery. And I think the first couple weeks of practice, that dude's going to get seriously hurt. Because a doctor is telling you should be getting reconstructive surgery on your pectoral muscle. But now you're just going to me, it's like the leadership thing right there is already flawed. So automatically you don't want to come in and be the best player that you can be. He should have got the surgery a long time ago and at least been ready for week 1 or week 2. But now he's coming in with no contact right now. The first week of pads is going to be rough for him, I think. And the question is, with all that being said, Nakobe Dean, the first week of practice goes down and it's his pectoral injury, and now he has to really get surgery and the team is forcing him to. How does your perspective change about where they picked him up at? Is it still a steal at that point in time? Or is it just one of those things where it's like, oh my God, he's just a knucklehead young player with a bunch of talent?
Well, a lot of stuff you just said. First, for those Eagles fans, like, we have leaders on defense. Big Play Slay, Fletcher Cox, Hargraves. You know what I'm saying? We got OG veterans there for that. But in terms of our leadership in our linebacker room, we had such a young linebacker core, even last year, that wasn't that good. So in terms of him being able to come in and be that field general leader of the linebacker room itself, That's what they're saying. He's going to be in there. He's going to command respect from all these guys right off the jump because he's instantly, to me, the best middle, field general linebacker that we have. We got one of each. You got the cover linebacker in Kaiser White. You got the pass rusher linebacker in Reddick. And now you got that field general, leader of your defense there with Kobe Dean. Plus you got, what's his name? TJ Edwards coming off the bench too. And Davion Taylor if he can stay healthy. But in terms of his health, that's all who you want to believe. Like, yes, it came out, right before the draft. So how many times does that happen? Something leaks right before the draft, boom, and now a player drops. And sometimes it does play into it. Sometimes it doesn't. Kobe D says he never was told ever that he had to have surgery. He said he never was told that. He's even got second opinions, and no one never told him he had to have surgery. So he doesn't even know where that rumor came from. So it's like, are you lying to Kobe?
Man, I guess his coaches are lying then.
They're
the ones that came out and leaked that.
Are you lying to Kobe Dean? Trying to show face, and you are going to try to bully through this, or are the rest of the people lying? But I don't know if he really has a reason to lie about it.
So do you think it was a tactic for him to fall in the draft?
Yeah.
So why would it? To me, it's just not worth it if he's falling to the third round. I don't think you fall to the third round off a tactic. I think you fall to the second where you're projected to be a first. That's just
scared,
me.
If you're scared, last minute, the draft's about to start. Boom, here it is. You're going to draft this guy, and all of a sudden someone hits you with he has a torn pec. We don't even know how it came out or leaked out, what was actually said to these guys. He got a torn pec. He probably not going to be able to play. You know what I'm saying? Now that's going to make you reconsider. That's going to make you think, whoa, because this linebacker in general, this whole draft was just full of talent. There's a lot of talented players. That's why a lot of talented players didn't get drafted. There's a lot of linebackers for sure this draft. So all the linebackers that got drafted before him, and not saying that they're not bad linebackers either. Like I feel like, you got those top 3 linebackers, but from 4 to 10, they all can play some football. You know what I'm saying? They all can play some football. So, he got drafted. It could push him back a little bit just because people probably got scared. And his size, too. People didn't like that he was a smaller linebacker in general. He had a 1/4 inch shorter arms than the rest of the linebacker. That made it bad, too, for him. You know what I'm saying? When they look at that measurables or whatnot. But I
don't really care about that because the new school linebackers of Miles Jack and Levante David and what's his name? Deion Jones and the Falcons.
Fletcher back in the day.
Like, that's the new school linebacker right now. I mean, Devin Bush, like, I don't care about the size thing, but that's another false argument that's been proven wrong time and time again. I mean, he said that about wide receiver. That was the other thing, too, coming out this year. Everybody was like, oh, my gosh, Chris Olave is too small. Garrett Wilson is too small. Jamison Williams is too small. And it's like, you guys need to figure out what the hell you want on your team because not everybody's going to be this big, tough wide receiver. And then when you mention something like, Drake London is the best wide receiver by his age, by his size, his intangibles, and everything. I'd solely believe that. And
I had Drake number 1.
I appreciate that.
Damn.
but when you just watch the game against Utah, how he just dominated them. I mean, and they were a top 10 team last year. But if when you look at it like that too, and this goes for all of our teams, there's always a fan that thinks they know exactly what is right. And the small wide receiver thing, it drives me nuts all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't want Drake London, Eagles fans, who the hell else are you going to pick? Because you got Christian Watson, who's a big-ass question mark to me, and it only gets a lot of garbage time stats. But he went to the best place. He went to Green Bay, and you know how Aaron Rodgers is. I'm not going to throw to your ass if you're doing bad. That's going to make Christian Watson step up. So that was the best place for him to go. What was that comment?
Which one? This one?
Travis Etienne is still when the Jaguars move up in the first round. When before the season, the 25th overall pick was last year's draft suffered a season Liz Frank injury that required surgery. I mean, it just is what it is. You can't control injuries, so I can't any go back and comment on any. I mean, if you look at this whole draft, like almost every single player had an injury issue. So let's just stop it there. But Travis Etienne, you pretty much brought him in on a publicity kind of thing, and we're in the entertainment business, regardless of what we think and who we think is the best person to go where. Aiden Hutchinson is not a top 3 edge rusher in my opinion, and the only reason that the Lions picked him up is because he's a Michigan kid. What's that going to do? That's going to sell damn tickets. Travis Etienne, what was going to do? South Carolina's right up the street from Jacksonville in South Carolina. You bring him in with Trevor Lawrence, that sold tickets right away. And they already had the chemistry there. For him to get the injury, it is what it is. But I think Travis Etienne is severely overrated. I think, and I'm boys for life, I know that's your boy Ezekiel Elliott, man. But you take away that offensive line, they had a dominant offensive line. He had the same thing at Ohio State. He came to, I'm not taking away from his production. The numbers are the numbers, and I have to respect it. But do you think Ezekiel Elliott would be the same running back with let's just say, Jaguars offensive line, even though they were a little mediocre themselves? I don't think you would be talking about Zeke in the same regard. Travis Etienne is the next Ezekiel Elliott. And now he's got a pretty good offensive line. But if you watch the tape on Clemson when he was there, they were opening up the gates, like the floodgates, like in the middle of the field, like every single time. The one thing you can say about Travis Etienne is he's fast as hell. So if he gets an open field, nobody's going to catch him. But do I think it was a steal? I absolutely don't think it's a steal. You did that to sell tickets and to have the chemistry between him and Trevor Lawrence. And I'm not the biggest Trevor Lawrence fan. I saw that comment earlier. I could care less about Trevor Lawrence.
Thank you. I've been saying that for God knows how long. Thank you.
People think he's the next coming of Andrew Luck, and I absolutely
No.
don't see it.
Nope. I just gotta ask this Bird Gang. Is that a Carson Wentz Eagle jersey behind you?
Oh yeah, that was the Carson Wentz Super Bowl Eagle jersey.
Oh, okay.
They didn't play.
I'm like, you still have
It's a Super Bowl jersey.
Yeah.
Wow, how ironic.
Hey, without him, we wouldn't have won it.
Hey, but even with that bad offensive line, that merry-go-round of offensive line, and saying that Zeke, he doesn't look the same. He did have it was like a little over 4 yards per carry last year. So I mean, even with the bad offensive line, he's still. I mean, that's 4 yards is a lot rushing the ball per carry.
It makes it easy when you have 3 wide receivers that are pulling away from everything too.
Yeah, and I've said that too. But I mean, if we're strictly just talking line like we were a second ago, I mean, like you said, you can't argue numbers.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not arguing numbers. They are what they are, and you have to look at it like that. But who do I think is the better running back between the two? Tony Pollard is a beast, bro. I do not know why you guys do not have him as the number 1 running back.
Well, I mean, it's contract. All because of money. It's all money. That's what it is.
Tony Pollard is a beast, man. He's gonna eat, and he did that. And he was putting up numbers with that offensive line that you guys have right now, which still is.
But another reason why it's not just also contract, it's also because Zeke can do things Tony can't. Like I've yet to see Tony pass block the way Zeke does, pick up blocks the way he does, chip the way he
bigger.
Does. Yeah, he's bigger. Like I've yet to see TP do that at all, and I think that's another reason why he's in the game more. Zeke is because of those things.
Drake London is Detroit's Mike Williams.
I don't agree.
We didn't watch the same player, are we?
I don't even know how. And I understand he's from USC because I'm a huge USC fan. But Drake is different from the receivers we've had come out. That was good before.
He's different, man.
Another beast. He's almost like the Jordan Davis at his position. He's huge, tall, physical, fast. He just mosses people.
Let me tell you something interesting to support your argument. Drake London played 8 games last year. He's a basketball player, and he was a very high caliber basketball player at UFC as well. The kid's only 19 years old. That dude was projected to have 130 catches, 1,800 yards, and like 12 touchdowns on a projection of how he was doing. He was averaging like 110 yards a game and like 8 receptions. What do you think he was going to do if he played the whole year? We would be talking about Drake London as the Biletnikoff winner, and it wouldn't have even been close.
That's what
the only reason Jordan Addison won is not only because, and I think Kenny Pickett got a lot riding on him because of how good Jordan Addison was, and nobody was talking about Jordan Addison, which was weird. But on the other side of that, if Drake London would have played all 11 or 12 games, we wouldn't even be talking about Jordan Addison as the Biletnikoff winner. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But The Mike Williams comparison, that's absolutely blasphemous, dude. They're two completely different wide receivers.
Yeah. We weren't even talking about the other guys being that great compared to him either. You know? He was on pace to do some big things at USC this year. Slovis would have been a better quarterback, too, if, he didn't get hurt, because then Slovis kind of went downhill.
I think Keaton Slovis would have been good under Lincoln Riley, but I mean, now he's where he's at, and that's another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up because I think it was week 6 or 7 is when they switched quarterbacks, and I think week 6 or 7 is when they played Utah, and he lit it up with like a completely different quarterback. So, I mean, if you're talking about a wide receiver that can just play with anybody and it doesn't matter, he's an absolute game changer. I'm tired of people talking about his speed, man. Contested catches to me are more important than you breaking away from somebody.
And
I mean,
slow
he's not.
for his size. Like, that's a big boy. Like,
He ran like a 4.6 or something.
yeah,
Like
4.6, 4.5.
that's not slow. I mean,
slow.
Ed Reed. How fast did Ed Reed play? And he ran a 4.7. Remember they were talking about that was another thing with Kyle Hamilton. Oh, he ran a 4.7. He's slow. Ed Reed ran a 4.7, and he was like the fastest player on the field. Are we kidding ourselves right now?
Yeah.
Like, guys, like let's have context behind what we're saying here. But yeah, if you just this is my advice for everybody in the chat. If you just say that I didn't watch Drake London or another player, just say that. Because if you didn't watch him, like just don't say anything because that Mike Williams comparison, that is trash.
Yeah, that's hurtful right there.
I'm sorry, whoever that was. I'm sorry. That comment was weak right there, man.
Yeah, that was not a good one.
J-Jaw was a basketball player too. A lot of people were basketball players.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying that directly translate over to being a good wide receiver, but he also played at Washington State, who's not good at basketball either. So, I mean, how much does that?
Yeah.
Did he play at Washington State or did he just play in high school?
I think he played for like a little bit.
Because Drake London was a starter.
Yeah. Drake London was a dog. I don't know about Whiteside.
And he's 19. He's one of the youngest players in this draft, too. I think there was like a scale. I forget what it's called. But there's a scale that comes out every single year and projects like against all the best players ever in the history of college that were due to get drafted. Drake London was like in the 1 percentile because of his age and his production. They take away injuries. They just do, what he was projected as and how many games that he played.
Right.
He was like in the 1 percentile for his age at wide receiver, man. The dude, that right there just tells you like, oh, he's generational. And that scale too had like Michael Irvin on there and a bunch of Hall of Famers. Like, rest in peace to Andrew Luck, but to his career. But he was on that scale too. Like it's pretty incredible. Like the kid is good, man. Like numbers don't lie. And they consider everything, small sample size and all that, man. So there's some cool statistics out there if you really go look it up.
And this is on where?
So there was like some article that came out before the draft and I forget what the scale is. I have to link you guys it one day.
Because I've been trying to do a lot more research. Like now that I'm actually getting into depth and I'm doing this type of stuff. And I mean, aside from like ESPN stats, dude. Some of these stats that y'all find and y'all come up with, I'm like, where the hell do they find this stuff? I can't it's like I don't know what I'm looking for or trying to look for, and I can't find.
Well, a lot of the stuff, like I have a subscription to PFF, regardless of what people say about it. Like it's a very great tool. Like if you pay, I think it's like the $7 a month for it. They give you all kinds of like in-depth stats that are just awesome, regardless if you agree with them or not. Like they actually have. I appreciate the fact that they actually have a scale for everything that they do and how they rank players. So you can take that and make it your own and say, oh, I appreciate this part of it, but I don't agree with this other part that they do. So I look at that, but then I'll also watch a lot of game film. And dude, I can show you my OneNote right now of all the notes that I have on players. Like it's no joke. Like I can share my screen and show you, like I do a lot of research. And it's mostly that, and then my guy Don, he does a lot of stats, like lookups as well. So I would just kind of mesh all of those together. Like I'll research players and watch film. He'll pull up the stats. We'll go to PFF, and we just like that's our combination of stuff. So a lot of it is just in my free time. This is what I do. So it's not like a magic tool out there that we're looking at. But a good start is PFF. even if you had to make a free account just to look at the stuff that they say.
Yeah.
To me, that's a really good skill to be on.
And when you're watching film, like for the college guys, what are you watching it on?
So if you sign up for damn, what is the website called? The NFL has a thing that you can sign up for, but it has like an archive of like all the players, so you can watch it there. What the hell is that called? But then the college actually has a website. I'll link you to that too, where you can pull up
Yeah.
all the tape, like on all the players, and basically, and there's a bunch of YouTubers out there too that just do breakdowns on specific players. So like on this website, if you just type out like Drake London, for example, it'll have like all his highlights and every single snap of what he does. Like it's like the actual like coach's tape, and you can go and like rewind.
Yeah, send me that link too, bro. Send me that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can go in there and just watch what they do in every single game, so you don't have to watch every snap that people aren't making plays. And you can break it down to like with Drake London just doing where he's not making catches, because I think that's like the most important thing to look at. Like the quarterback's not going to see him open every single time. Jalen Hurts came out and said that he didn't see Dallas Goedert open because of the play call. Like it just is what it is. Like as much
He didn't even see Quez Watkins open.
Well, as much as we want to criticize people, and here's the other side of it that I would say take away for all of you guys. Take that with the largest grain of salt of all time, because we're not in those rooms, and even though Dallas Goedert was open, that wasn't his read. I mean, it just is what it is. We can sit in the stands and sit in our chairs and sit on our couches and be, like a couch coach all that we want to, but if that wasn't the read, that wasn't the read. I mean, if Nick Sirianni's like, I need you to just throw to the first read guy. I mean, I played quarterback before. Sometimes I actually had some guy tell me this one time. The reason why I don't know why Jalen Hurts dropped back, 3 steps instead of 5. I'm like, that's determined on the play call. Like it's never like I'm gonna just drop back 7 times and then throw the ball. It's never determined like that. Mostly every single thing that people do are determined before the play call. But yeah, I'll link you to the guys' stuff. I would encourage you guys to, whenever you have your free time, just go in there and just start just watching tape, man, because it's super important. And if you don't know about the playbooks that they're running, sometimes you can go to a website. There's another website I had to ask Don for the link, but you can go and see what their playbooks are. And throughout the season, what they'll do is they'll fill it out like on the route trees of like Drake London. It'll tell you Drake London runs 50% of the time on in routes, and he has success on a bunch of those passes. And here's his catching percentage, and here's how many times he was targeted on these routes. Like there's a bunch of stuff out there. So I mean, that's why I challenge people a lot. It's like just say you don't know. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Just say you don't know instead of just making a glorified guess. So, but you guys are not like that. You guys have really good opinions about everything. It's just about sharpening the sword with this stuff. I love this stuff. I don't know if you guys can't tell. I love this stuff. At the end of the day, I talk football all the time.
No, for me, where I started off talking trash, doing what I do, being approached by Bird Gang over here, having me come on here, I've gotten a little bit more in depth with my football, and now I actually want to pursue in doing this stuff and be more.
You're still making your videos. Come on, man.
I'm still doing my stuff, but I mean, coming on here and having these shows, I do want to sound a little bit more educated, because even on my other show with my other guy, Cowboys Corner, it's more me asking the questions and him being more in depth and answering with the football terminology that he's better at doing than I am. So, I mean, I'm learning from all y'all guys right now, so it's fun.
Yeah, I'll post it in the private chat, some of the links.
Oh yeah, he got them.
I'm going to my little spreadsheet right now of all the stuff. Dude, I have a spreadsheet of all kinds of stuff too. This is what I do.
Yeah, man. It's true, man. It's just good to know. Like, I like my favorite things too. Like, I don't do too much of the coach's tape type stuff, but I love watching like how they have it on like YouTube too. They have like the highlights from the game, but it's not, a 5-minute highlight. It's like a good 15, 20 minute where they break down just like all the meaningful plays. And I kind of go through there and I watch through there. And obviously I watch the games too while they're going on, but I like to go through there and like really get a little highlight who did good, what they did, you know what I'm saying? How open were they and stuff like that. So
I'll tell you what's helped me out over the years. This is the best advice that I could give any football YouTuber, and this will just make you an an excellent analyst when it comes to stuff, and it'll make you change your perspective even on your teams. Like, how do I know that Nick Sirianni always had, Jalen Hurts under center 25 times last year? I watched a lot of the Eagles offense. I'm not an Eagles fan, but so what you do, grab a team from each division, then go to college, grab a team from each conference. And instead of trying to be an expert on every single team, just focus on those teams and write notes every single week on those teams, and not try to bog yourself down with every single game, because you're gonna hear it, you're gonna see it, you're gonna read the stats, it's just you're gonna see that type of stuff, right? But also the caveat to that is the Eagles don't play the same team every single week too, so you're gonna be able to evaluate the other side of the ball as well when you're watching. So like last year, my teams were UCF. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. It was just like a bunch of teams that I don't normally watch. Coastal Carolina, and pick those teams out, write notes on them, just watch the game, because they're going to play other teams that you might not know. And what you'll end up having is like, oh dang, yeah, I know a little bit about Tulsa when the Coastal Carolina played them too. You remember that kid? What's that offensive lineman that got drafted to whatchamacallit from Tulsa?
The lineman for the Cowboys?
Yeah,
Tyler Smith?
and Tyler Smith, yeah. So I actually watched him play against Coastal Carolina, so it was like, oh snap, yeah, I remember Tyler Smith. He, there was a couple snaps where he pancaked like 3 dudes, But you'll run into that stuff, and then what it'll do is once you have that first year of just doing that, just challenging yourself, the next year you're gonna start adding more teams onto your plate. Yeah. All right, I got my favorite team. All right, I got the Eagles. I got Florida State. I already got my normal teams. Now let me add another team that I don't know. And then what it'll do too is it'll separate your biases a lot, and you'll start to appreciate more players. Not the fact that you guys don't right now, but it will definitely make you appreciate, other teams and what they're doing, and you'll start clinging on to players that you might have not necessarily have heard of or kept up with. And it's more than just watching the stat sheet. And that's another thing. Like, Minka Fitzpatrick to me is the best safety in the league. Like, our show tomorrow, we're going through our top 5 players. Minka Fitzpatrick to me is the best safety in the league. There's bar none. Nobody can change my mind about it. But he doesn't have like last year, his stat sheet wasn't large at all versus like somebody like Justin Simmons with the Broncos. But what he does for the team as far as his leadership, getting people lined up, just making simple tackles that are not getting, having the running back or the wide receivers getting you a whole bunch of, unnecessary first downs and keeping their drive alive. They stop teams a lot on big drives. So that's just my advice for anybody that loves football, man. It'll definitely make you appreciate the game just a little more. So that's just a challenge for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely going to challenge you guys all the time. I'll be up in your chat. I'll say all type of stuff. I might put some flavor in your ear, jump on your show, but this is just who I am, man. I'm super authentic this way.
Now that's for me for basketball. Like, for basketball, I know like everything about every team. I just did the draft lottery today. I'm gonna do the draft combine. Like, to me, I just love basketball and that whole process. So it's much easier to keep up with that than football, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I watch all of it. College. I even watch high school football still. You know what I'm saying? I love all football.
I watch high school basketball.
I soak as much of it up as possible, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's just like, you just got to know, like, you see it. Like you said, you see it. There could be a player really good that you watch his game tape and you see, he ain't really doing nothing half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he might not translate over to NFL like everybody else thinks. But, I don't know. There's just certain players who just got that instinct, that football instinct. I don't know if it's just how to quantify it, but like, you just see him like from every play that you see, even on plays that he's not making the play, what I'm saying? He's making an impact on that play, and those are real ballers out there. That's where I like all the real ballers, and pretty much anybody from USC, Alabama,
I think what I might do, now that I always have like ideas in my head, right? And I always love collabing with other people and just helping people out with like the knowledge of the game type of stuff. I think what I might do is just like start a Discord and then have a whole bunch of people just join in. What we'll do is we'll say like, Bird Gang, you focus on these teams this year. Boys, you focus on this game this year. Mitch, you focus on these teams this year. And then like every single week, you were just throwing up different stats. Or like, hey man, watch out for this player at Alabama this year. He's gonna be good. I saw him make these. You know what I'm saying? And then that way, instead of us like, you know, instead of us trying to collab with other people and do things like that, and then just trying to guess on what we hear other people say. Because I love Joel Klatt and all these other people, all these other analysts. Like I think Joel Klatt is one of the realest analysts out there. Like he's not going to sugarcoat it. Is he wrong sometime? Absolutely. But when he talks, I listen every single time because I know he knows his shit. And it's like, why can't we just be like that for each other? Like, start a Discord, everybody focusing on their team, everybody's just educating each other. And then when we get on everybody's shows, it's like, man, I got a lot to talk about this week on the Eagles, or I got a lot to talk about. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but there's a couple players there outside of the superstars that really made a difference because it's a team sport at the end of the day. So to sit here and say that it's just one person week by week, making a difference is absolutely blasphemous. That's why I think McCole Hardman for the Chiefs has made a bigger impact than what people realize. It wasn't just Tyreek Hill, and they're gonna trust that kid out in Kansas City. So I think that's what I might do though. It's like just start a Discord.
He's gonna hurt a little bit. I think everybody kind of hurt a little bit. Health numbers gonna go down a little bit. He might get the ball. They probably try to feed him the ball more. But I just feel like Tyreek Hill is, like you said, that's like a generational talent. Like his speed and athleticism and catch ratings and all that stuff. Like he's pretty freaking explosive player. Like anytime you get rid of a guy like that, it's gonna make an impact on your team. You can bring in. I love Juju. A lot of people hate Juju. I still love Juju, not because he went to USC, but I just love him. You watch Juju. He's a really good run blocker. What I'm saying? He's a big physical guy. I just think that they're gonna be a good team, obviously, but they're not. They're gonna definitely miss a little bit with Tyreek Hill, and I think Dolphins definitely gonna gain a lot. With a guy like Tyreek Hill in that offense.
All right, I'm gonna pop off. I gotta get up early, make some videos. I need to get videos back. Like I'm just been doing live streams, so that's my mission for tomorrow. And did you listen to 17 Birds yet?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
Dante, you gotta listen to Lord Brunson's song.
Yeah, I did hear it.
He wrote a song, bro.
This dude's a rapper. First of all, the people that call themselves Lord, King, all this other stuff, no offense. I'm not calling another grown man Sauce, King, Lord, nothing. Like,
it's just habit for me. I'm trying to.
But I guess that's like his rapper name, right? Lord Brunson, and I guess he brought it up to
he said 17 birds. I counted 25 times.
Is it called 17 Birds? Or
yes, I'll send you the link. I sent him one. I'll send you the link.
Yo, Bird Gang, is it bad?
You got the whole song?
Yeah, it's on his YouTube.
Oh, I didn't hear the whole song. I think I only heard like the.
I listened to it and I'm like,
I
bro.
heard the first 15 seconds in his video, and like I was making fun because he said 17 birds at least like 8 times in his 15 seconds, and I was like, man, you could make a drinking game out of this.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Is it good or is it bad? Or is it okay?
Should I play it or no?
Nah, let everyone else listen to it. We don't need to diss people today. That's more of a Saturday show.
I need to go to your text and send it to him. Bruh, I couldn't do that. It got stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, well, I'm out. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, see you.
Yeah, I'm about to end this here in a few minutes. I got to get up early for work too.
All right, yeah, I just talked on. Seeing you drop the links. I'm like, I wasn't done. We just got off of Eagles Live and Lit, so let's go. Yeah. Let's talk some more football, man. I'm
down. And then when is it? Monday we're gonna be talking.
In the morning.
Yeah. Monday,
I think
talking football.
I think one day what I'm gonna do. I posted it on Twitter today. Is like I want to do a round table with just like a whole bunch of people where we're just like almost like a cross examination of each other, but no, just get like a bunch of opinions from people on how they feel. Like just name a player and then we all talk about it. Like, oh, why you feel that way, or who's a good comparable for him, or I don't know how I want to do it yet, but I think that would be cool too.
There's always finding a new way, like there's so many other ways to have streams and stuff on here. Like having this be my first year, all live streams for me mostly. I got some videos, but I don't even like making them, to be honest.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like,
with people and talk about it instead of having to jump and go. Like, I put my little clips on there, whatever, to get it out there, get some views that way, and to keep me in the whole content as opposed to just being mainly live stream. But live stream is where it's at for me. But I'm on here by myself talking to the people, the chat, or talking with different teams. Like I love different teams. If you look at my fan base, it's mostly I got Cowboys, Niners, Giants, everything because it's just obviously mostly Eagles. But there's a lot of other people too because the whole year when you're going against all the best content creators from every single team, you learn a lot about each team for one, and then you also learn, a lot about yourself, being able to handle it and hang in there. One thing that I don't really do too much trash talking. It's not my game. You can have your opinions. I'll let you have your opinion because everybody's the right to have them. I'm just going to express to you why I believe,
I'm the same. I'm mostly the same way, and I think what people misunderstand about the way I approach things is, I definitely will challenge people, and you guys have seen that time and time again, which I don't think is a bad thing. Let's have an open discussion about how you feel. Just like you came in, I was totally respectful for you, and you thought N'Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis, but I actually gave, I opened the floor and let everybody have their talk. I don't know everything. So getting your perspective might change my mind on some things. And I'm open-minded like that as well. But then the one thing I won't stand for, and I will always defend myself on my podcast, is if I'm asking you a question and I'm just trying to insert my opinion with context and you call me trash or that I don't work hard or that I don't do anything like this, I'm sorry. On East Coast Gridiron, you might get memed that day. And it's going to be everything that you said. and you know what I'm saying? But that's just how I roll. I kept it respectable. I don't start nothing. I just end it. That's
Where you
how
from?
I am. Where am I from? I'm from Baltimore.
Baltimore. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. I currently live in Delaware right now, so I'm totally in Eagles country.
Are you related to Vic 3?
I am not.
You guys
No.
kind of black.
I think isn't he like Puerto Rican? I'm biracial, but yeah. I mean,
What
I
are
guess
you?
light skin dudes stick together.
No.
My dad's white, my mom's black.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm a mixed breed.
I call
Are you a mixed breed, boys?
No, I am 100% Mexican.
Oh, really?
Hispanic. Yeah,
Hey.
Hispanic. Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, third. Am I? Yeah, third generation American. Right? Yeah. Great
When the baby's
grandfather.
coming, boys?
You what?
I said, when the baby coming?
He should be here by the 18th. So, God willing.
Oh,
the day-
congratulations, man.
Thank
That's a
you.
blessing.
Thank you. The day before Father's Day. So
That'd
her
be
due
awesome.
date.
man.
Yeah.
Father's Day.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
due date is the 23rd, but the doctor's not going to let her go past 39 weeks. So in that 39th week on the 18th is which is a Saturday. So early in the morning, I'll be headed to the doctor. That's if he doesn't come early. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bergen, you got kids?
A lot of them.
Oh, you got a lot of.
With me and Miss Berg getting together, we got 7.
Wow,
Hey,
really?
7?
Yeah.
Let's
You know,
go.
That's
I
crazy.
love it, man. I love kids. I was lucky, and I kind of did it smart but stupid way. I waited to have kids. When all my friends in high school and in college started having babies early, I'm like, you guys are tripping. I'm partying. I went to Santa Barbara. It was like #1 party spot in America at the time in '99. And I partied my butt off, played semi-pro ball, was in movies, did a lot of stuff down in California. So I was like, I'm not having babies yet. But then, I didn't have my first one till I was 29, and I feel like by that time, I got a lot out of my system, what I'm saying? I got to do a lot of things by myself, enjoy life a little bit. And then I was ready to start having them and start knocking them out. And it seemed like every 2 years, every other year after that, they just kept coming out, man. They just kept coming out.
It just kept coming out.
I had a girl first, and I really wanted a boy. So it made me push for another baby quicker, and I had another girl, and that really pissed me off. So that made me push for another baby quicker. And I'm like, if I don't have a boy this time, I'm stopped. I'm done. But then I had a boy, and I'm like, awesome.
He was like, they just kept coming out like he change in his pocket or something, trying to reach for something. Oh, bro,
Yeah.
I gotta pick these up.
They changed your life, man. That's why I wanted to be completely ready when I start having them. They change your life. They make you grind harder. I never made as much money as I made since first having kids, being as responsible as I've ever been. So they kind of put that extra change in your life. That's why I didn't want to do it too early. I don't want to cut off the fun line early. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be young, wild, and free, do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And I got to do that. And I tell everybody, in terms of relationships, I wouldn't worry about getting nothing too serious. Like, if you got a good girl, keep her. Hey, I'm not saying nothing, but, wait till you're like 29, 30 years old and enjoy life after high school. Enjoy
Facts.
the life before you start having babies and all that stuff. You can control it. I controlled it, and then once I start having, like, when you stop wearing that rubber, they just keep popping out. Well, I tell you, and
I have 0.
I'll have 100 kids if God wanted me to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the plan, that's the plan. I want a nice little legacy left behind me. There'll be a lot of little bird games trolling the YouTube nation after I leave.
Yeah, no, because of my age, I told my wife, I was like, this is my first one. Like, we waiting those 6 weeks, maybe 6 months for you to recover, and hey, we're going again. And I told her, I was like, if we have another boy, then we're gonna try again right after that one. Because if I get 3 boys, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I got my 3 boys. I'm good.
I have 0 kids. I'm 32. My wife's 35. And we just been like, work's been a huge consumer of mine right now, and she's going through school to be a vet, so she's in her career. So, and there's some other things that we're trying to take care of, but I definitely have a lot of free time. So that's why I'm able to put out some stuff that I'm able to put out, because it's like work, podcast, spend time with the wife, work, podcast, spend time with the wife. Then every once in a while we'll travel and do something. But yeah, man, we're definitely planning on it soon, because I know it can, Bergen, you can probably popping them out, man.
Too old to, like, I always think about when my kid turns 21, right? Like, how am I gonna look? Like, I don't want to be that old dad, you know what I'm saying, out of shape. That's more like how good I can keep myself up. I turned 41 this year, and I went back to my class reunion, my 20-year class reunion. I've seen that I'm still looking pretty good compared to the rest of these guys.
I would have never guessed that you were 41, dude.
Yeah, well, I turned
41?
In August. I turned 41.
Shit, I never would have guessed it. It was when you said, like, you went down to Santa Barbara right now, and like you went there in 99. I was like, how old is this fool? 99.
Millennial, baby. So it's just like, and that's why even on my channel, even when in terms of just Eagles content, like, when I tell them that stuff, like, I talk to a lot of these younger guys, you know what I'm saying? They have their ideas on it, but I watched like every Eagles game from like I first started watching it, and I've seen a lot of eras, even like the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that stuff. So I kind of keep all that in perspective when I kind of come up with what I think about, the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's kind of easy to really diagnose what's going on with your team when you watch them for so long. So
yeah, for sure.
So, but all right, guys, I'm gonna end this.
Cool.
All right, you guys have a good night tonight. Thanks for having me.
Thank y'all, both y'all, for coming on. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Y'all are welcome anytime, whenever y'all want to come. Just let me know.
All right,
for sure, man.
All right, guys. I'll check y'all later.
Later.
All right, I'm gonna end this shit. All right, now let's get back to let's end this now, because we got to go to this thing. I got to take. Oh, let's not do that. Let's get that out of there. Let's take this off. Yes, we'll take that off. We will get out of. You know what? I guess we won't end. I mean, we're gonna end. We're gonna end. This is it. But I wanted to do. You know what? We're just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to come here. Oh no, we're out of it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a fun night. It's always fun having you here. I appreciate the guys that came on. East Coast Gridiron, 31, and Mitch. Appreciate you all for coming on. But guys, we're out. Peace.